and welcome to the November 3rd, 2015 regular meeting of the Piqua City Commission. I'm glad to have you here with us tonight. And for our first order of business, if you would turn your cell phones completely off so that it doesn't interfere with our broadcast system, and then join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Mayor Fess.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Here.
Commissioner Terry.
Here.
And I have 3 proclamations this evening, so I would ask that our Sanitation Director, Amy Welker, would meet me at the podium. Amy, I have a proclamation here that is for Recycling Day, and it reads, whereas the City of Piqua recognizes the importance of protecting and preserving our national resources and adopting conscientious habits that will improve our daily lives and bring about a cleaner, safer, and more sustainable environment. And whereas there has been a significant increase in participation in the recycling program in the City of Piqua, and whereas by encouraging citizens to celebrate America Recycles Day 2015, we can further promote recycling as an environmentally efficient and economically smart habit. And whereas community leaders can help encourage recycling by informing citizens about the Piqua recycling program, and whereas it is important that all Piqua citizens become involved in recycling activities and learn more about the many recycled and recyclable products available to them as consumers. It is also fitting for the City of Piqua to celebrate America Recycles Day 2015 and take action by educating citizens about the recycling options available in our community. Now, therefore, I, Lucinda L. Fess, Mayor of the City of Piqua, Ohio, do hereby recognize November 15th, 2015 as America Recycles Day and ask all citizens to continue and increase recycling in the City of Piqua. That has my signature and the seal of the City of Piqua. And Amy, do you want to say anything about our recycling?
Thank you. I would like to note that I provided the Commission with an update on the Piqua recycling program. If you'll recall, we started in-house recycling in May of this year, so we're at the 6-month mark. So I wanted to provide an update showing how we're doing, and we're very pleased to report that participation has greatly increased. It's up 40%. So that was done as part of our program. We instituted the carts, which the citizens seem to really like, and participation has really gone way up. Our tonnage is also up, so we're excited that people not only are participating, but we're seeing the results of that. And our solid waste tonnage has dropped as well. So it's been a win-win so far, and we'd like to continue to encourage all the citizens to continue to participate, continue to learn what items do go in the recycling cart, and continue on this path. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Now I'd like to ask our Assistant City Manager, Economic Development Director, Justin Summers, to join me. I might mention that the city manager's off for medical reasons this evening, and Justin is sitting in for him. I want to thank you for that, Justin. And the second proclamation that I have is for Veterans Day in the City of Piqua. And it reads, whereas on November 11th, 2015, the City of Piqua will observe Veterans Day And we will pause to honor every veteran who has ever worn one of our nation's service uniforms. And whereas, as we pay tribute to our veterans, we are mindful that no ceremony can repay the debt of gratitude we feel each and every day for their service to our country. And whereas each time our freedoms have come under assault, our veterans have responded with resolve, courage, and sacrifice. And whereas under the most demanding of circumstances and in the most dangerous corners of the earth, American veterans have served our country with distinction and valor, and all veterans deserve our gratitude and praise for their selfless acts and for the duty provided to our great country. Now, therefore, I, Lucinda L. Fess, Mayor of the City of Piqua, Ohio, do hereby proclaim November the 11th, 2015, as Veterans Day in the City of Piqua. We urge all citizens to give their due respect and gratitude to these veterans for their service and sacrifice to our country. God bless America. And I have placed my signature in the seal of the City of Piqua. Justin, thank you for accepting that on behalf of all our veterans. The third proclamation that I have is to establish a William H. Pitzenbarger Day, and I believe Ruth Kuhn is here with some committee members from the Pitzenbarger Committee. If you'll join me up here, please. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Edna Stiffel, Downing Street.
Thank you.
Glenn Deaver, Spotted Doe Trail.
And we have another member sitting on the commission, that's Commissioner Vogt. I don't know, you want to come down, Bill, or?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
I might fall down.
But this committee and these people have worked very hard for a period of, what, 2 years now? To make sure that there's a statue, that there's good recognition given to William H. Pitzenbarger. They've done an outstanding job, and on November the 14th, that's what I was going to say, November the 14th, there will be a ceremony where the statue will be dedicated, and I'm sure we'll have this read again at that ceremony, probably, Ruth, but I would like to read it tonight. And it reads, whereas Airman First Class William H. Pitzenbarger distinguished himself by extreme valor on April the 11th, 1966, near Cam Mai, Republic of Vietnam, while assigned as a pararescue crew member. And whereas Airman Pitzenbarger was aboard a rescue helicopter responding to a call for evacuation of casualties incurred in an ongoing firefight between elements of the United States Army's 1st Infantry Division and a sizable enemy force approximately 35 miles east of Saigon. And whereas with complete disregard for personal safety, Airman Pitzenbarger volunteered to ride a hoist more than 100 feet through the jungle to the ground. And whereas American forces came under heavy assault, the evacuation was called off, and Airman Pitzenbarger took up arms with the besieged infantrymen. And whereas as the battle wore on, Airman Pitzenbarger repeatedly exposed himself to enemy fire to care for the wounded, pull them out of the line of fire, and return fire wherever he could, during which time he was wounded 3 times. And whereas in the vicious fighting that followed, the American forces suffered 80% casualties as their perimeter was breached, and Airman Pitzenbarger was fatally wounded. Whereas Airman First Class William Hart Pitzenbarger was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor on December 8, 2000. And whereas on November 14, 2015, Airman First Class William H. Pitzenbarger will be honored by his hometown with a statue dedication ceremony, at the Pitzenbarger Sports Complex at 10 o'clock a.m. Now, therefore, I, Lucinda L. Fess, Mayor of the City of Piqua, Ohio, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 14th, 2015, as William H. Pitzenbarger Day in the City of Piqua, and urge all citizens to honor William H. Pitzenbarger for giving his life for his country and living his life by the pararescue oath. It is my duty as a pararescueman to save a life and to aid the injured. I will perform my assigned duties quickly and efficiently, placing these duties before personal desires and comforts. These things I do that others may live. I have placed my signature and the seal of the City of Piqua on this, and Ruth, I'll present that to you and your committee, and we again thank you for all that you've done. Did you have comments you wanted to make?
I wondered if I should wait till the end, or if this would be all right if I just have a few comments? Okay. We are very, very excited that this is finally coming to fruition on November 14th at 10 o'clock with wonderful weather. The sun will be shining. It won't be raining. It won't be snowing. It's going to be wonderful to pay tribute to this, to one of our country's greatest heroes and one of our community's greatest heroes, a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. There were only 3,500 recipients in the United States, and we have one here in Piqua, Ohio. The other thing I want to mention as Lucy was reading his story, which is so inspirational, is that of the 134 soldiers who were in that fierce, terribly fierce battle that day, only 28 survived. And 9 of those were because of William Pittsburgher. Quite a story. It's just a wonderful tribute to a young man. We are going to be having, of course, Lucy is going to be celebrating, you know, she's celebrating her wonderful 60th anniversary, so Vice Mayor Bill Vogt will be there, but we're also having the Air Force Honor Guard. We are having the Ohio Senator Bill Beagle will be reading the proclamation from the governor. You know, our wonderful governor is busy out campaigning, and he couldn't make it. It's his loss, however, I feel. And he might change his mind. He might come eventually. But the other great thing is the 88th Air Base Wing Commander, Colonel John DeVilliers, will be delivering an address called The Courage, Valor, and Sacrifice of William H. Pitsenbarger. Edna and Glenn and I are here tonight to invite all the community to come to this wonderful celebration. And that again is on Saturday, November the 14th at 10 a.m. at Pitsenbarger Sports Complex. Thank you so much.
We do have a rather short agenda this evening, so we'll try to move through it quickly here now. The first item is the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes of the October 15th, 2015 Piqua City Commission work session and the October 20th, 2015 regular Piqua City Commission meeting.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The consent agenda has been adopted. Under new business, we have resolution number R-143-15.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to Busher Electric Incorporated for the purchase and installation of a new generator for the fire department.
Fire Chief Brett Polschneider will present the report.
Thank you, sir. I come to the commission tonight for seeking approval for the fire department to purchase a new Kohler backup emergency power generator for the fire department. The current diesel generator that we have in the building's been there 30-plus years. It's actually been in service for the city since the 1950s. Some of the retired members told me that it was moved over from the old Power Dome nuclear power plant and put into service, and it also serviced the old city building here along with the fire department. We've come to having issues as far as finding parts and that, and with that, we'd like to make sure that we have solid emergency backup power whenever we might have an issue. With that, we're striving to position ourselves to be more efficient in the face of an emergency outage. The generator will be set just outside of the building on the southeast corner on a concrete pad with bumper protection. This will give us the capability to run not only on natural gas, but we're looking to have a secondary supply of propane if we were to have an issue with the natural gas. So we're trying to do a dual purpose with this. So any disaster we would be facing, we feel we position ourselves to have emergency backup power with the approval of this purchase.
Thank you, Chief. Commissioners, any questions for the chief?
Yeah, where are you planning to put the propane tank?
We're not planning on putting a propane tank in. What we're planning on is just having a hookup, so if we do have an interruption in natural gas supply, we're going to secure a supply with a tank that will be brought in on a truck at a temporary basis, and then we'll be able to run over a hookup from it.
Okay.
Anything else, commissioners? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this resolution?
Nick Alexander, 713 Roosevelt. I'm just curious, it says in there that the unit is going to be repurposed for the new water plant, which you just said you couldn't get parts for, or?
This is for the fire department.
I understand. It says in the packet that the one that they have will be repurposed for the water plant.
For the water plant.
If I may answer
Yes.
that. What they're looking at is the possibility of having it used to be the JVS, but it's the Upper Valley Career Center with their Ag Diesel group, looking at the possibility of putting that on a trailered unit and being portable, so if they have any issues, the unit might be able to be hooked up in that. So they're just in the beginning phases of that and looking to see if that's possible with their group. So we're hoping that it can be repurposed.
I mean, that's just different than what the
Nick,
packet
you're supposed to
says.
address your,
Okay. That's
to
just
the
different
commission.
what the packet said, but that sounds like a better use for it to have it for the JVS than in the new water plant. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, do I have a motion, please?
I move to adopt resolution R-143-15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-143-15. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fess.
Aye. Resolution number R-143-15 has been adopted. Resolution number R-144-15.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to Ritter Plumbing Company for the installation of a gas line for the generator for the fire department.
Chief Polschneider.
Yes, this is in conjunction, obviously, with supplying our natural gas to the back of the building. We were not able to use the current supply line that we have in our building because of the volume requirement of the backup generator. The nearest supply for the high-pressure natural gas supply line is on Wayne Street, and looking at a couple of different ways to try to bring it in, Ritter was the most feasible option on doing that, to bring that into our building from Wayne Street area. And they put us forward with the most economical way to do it.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for the chief on this resolution? Anyone in the audience wish to speak to the resolution? If not, could I have a motion, please?
I move we adopt resolution R-144-15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-144-15. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fess,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Resolution number R-144-15 has been adopted. A resolution number R-145-15.
A resolution granting a utility easement to the city of Piqua to run with the land.
Stormwater Coordinator Devin Alexander will present the next two items on your agenda.
Yeah, this resolution is in reference to a property located at 299 Linden Avenue. In the summer of 2014, the property owner of 299 Linden made us aware that they had a large sinkhole happen in the middle of their yard. We investigated it and found out that it was a 48-inch storm sewer that ran through the property. At the time, we did not have any record of that storm sewer even existing, as it probably predates any of our maps that we had at the time. We feel that it is an old county field tile, but after 1955, the county no longer adheres to those being their tiles. So it does actually tie into our storm system, and at that time, we did acknowledge that it was part of our storm system, and we felt that it was necessary that we made the repairs to that storm pipe. But however, there was no utility easement at that time. The property owner did allow us to do a right of entry agreement to allow us to come in and repair the issue. But through research and trying to target these gray area spots that we have in the city, we are now pursuing situations like this and trying to obtain utility easements for this type of situation. So that's what we are asking for tonight, is the approval of a utility easement for this property.
Thank you, Devin. Commissioners, do you have questions for Devin?
How far does this line actually run?
It actually runs from Linden Avenue, and as the next resolution will indicate, it goes over to Ford Drive, and it's roughly about 1,000 feet from the west to the east through the property. It's a 48-inch storm sewer.
Okay, all right.
Devin, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak for or against this resolution? If not, could I have a motion, please?
Move to adopt resolution R-146-15.
It's 45, Judy.
Am I on the wrong page? Yep. Oh, sorry, 145.
They're close.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R-145-15. Would the clerk call the roll?
Mayor Fess.
Aye.
Commissioner Terry.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Resolution number R-145-15 has been adopted. Resolution number R-146-15.
A resolution granting a utility easement to the city of Piqua to run with the land.
Yeah, this is just a continuation of the pre-existing storm pipe on the Linden Avenue property. As I mentioned, it runs to Ford Drive, and this utility easement would take over the property behind the Linden Avenue property to where it connects on the other side. So it's the essential same use of what's happening. We're just trying to obtain the utility easement to go with the whole 48-inch sewer through that area.
Thank you, Devin. Commissioners, any questions?
In your investigation, has this gone any further than Ford Drive? Do you know, or is there a way to find out?
No, actually, we do have a storm sewer map, and this, we were able to, actually, by using a consultant when we were doing our mapping, we were able to determine that this storm line actually only does run from Linden to Ford Drive. But we do also acknowledge that there are other similar situations probably in the city that we don't know about that deal with pre-existing field storm drains from the county dating back, like I said, before 1955, when there was really no a record of much storm sewer related infrastructure.
Probably the Pilgrims didn't keep those records.
No, probably not.
Thank you, Devin. Commissioners, anyone in the audience wish to speak?
Nick Alexander again. Is this the same type of storm sewer that collapsed under Race Street earlier this year?
Same type? No, not the same type, but it's a similar situation where an aged piece of infrastructure broke down and essentially had the same type of effect, being a sinkhole. One being in the road, this was just in a yard at a property.
So this is something we'll probably see again in the next 10 years easily?
Yeah, Devin had just mentioned, Nick, that there were other areas in the city.
But it's something we should expect then.
I would
Yeah,
imagine,
essentially.
yeah.
I mean, and we have aging infrastructure. There's going to be breakdowns, and we try to be proactive and find what we can find. But you are going to have areas where you just don't know that it's deteriorated because it is obviously underground. So when there is an issue arise, we do address it at that time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Do I have a motion, please?
Move to adopt resolution R-146-15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-146-15. Will the clerk call the roll, please?
Commissioner Terry.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Fess.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Resolution number R-146-15 has been adopted. We're now at the point in the meeting where we open the floor for public comment. Anyone who would like to make any comments to the commission, if you would come to the podium and state your name and address. Seeing no one moving forward, I'll go to Justin for the city manager's report.
Just a couple of brief items I'd like to mention. This Saturday at Echo Hills Golf Course, there will be a Wounded Warrior 5K run. I encourage people to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we'll have this weekend and contact Chip Fox out at Echo Hills with any questions on that. A reminder to City Commission and to the public, budget meetings on November the 19th, which is a Thursday, beginning at 4 p.m. And then I'd also like to acknowledge the public input that we regularly receive. We recently held some public input sessions related to redesign of Lock 9 Park and the Canal Corridor. And whenever we ask the public for input, they are always willing to step up and provide that information. And there are many opportunities, not just on Election Day, to participate in government. So I encourage the citizens to become involved in activities like planning sessions, public input, boards, the Government Academy, neighborhood associations, and all of the opportunities that you have to provide input and participate in local government. The final note that I'd like to make is the availability of jobs within the city of Piqua. Apex Aluminum just announced yesterday the need for 40 new staff members, and they are actively recruiting for those positions. And I've heard from several other companies such as Harmony Systems, Evenflow, Hartzell Industries, Piqua Paper Box, all have open positions. So there are jobs available in the city, and if you know of anybody who is looking for work, I encourage them to reach out to our local employers. That's all I have.
Thank you, Justin. Could you just take a minute and update us a little bit about some of the things that are going on in Piqua? Is that putting you on the spot too much? I mean,
Well-
I know there's a lot of things you can't talk about, but if you could just kind of give the people encouragement that things are happening.
I think there is a lot of exciting activity going on in terms of economic development, both with expansions of our existing employers. So when you look at something like P&R Specialty, who recently completed a building expansion, job creation at Apex Aluminum and our other local manufacturers, as well as in the service industry. A lot of activity around the riverfront redevelopment plans, Historic East Piqua. And so there is a lot of activity in town and a lot of growth. So we're excited about that and about what's going to lie ahead.
Yeah, I think in the next year, people are probably going to 2 years, people are going to see more activity in the city than they've seen in a long, long time. Much of that's due to your efforts, and we really appreciate that, Justin.
Thank you.
And you're doing a great job, and just hang on, folks, because it's coming, right? Let's go to the commissioners. Let's go to Commissioner Wilson tonight.
Don't have anything. I just want to go home and see who wins.
We all are wondering. Okay, Commissioner Terry?
Well, I'm very heartened to see that our neighborhood has been included in the Thursday group in the recycling chart. And wow, we're right off the chart. However, the Tuesday group that we were just taken away from is also made a big jump. So I'm not really sure what happened, but anyway, I'm now glad to be lumped in with the winners.
Yeah. We knew you were a winner, Judy. We've
Well, I
always
feel like
known
a
that.
winner, but I was very disappointed to be on a bad day.
Well, now you're on a good day. And Amy, do you have those available for people if they would like to see those?
Certainly, and we'll post it on the website as well.
Okay, great, because it is quite encouraging. When you look at 40% is quite an increase. You know, that's amazing. And your department also has done a great job in getting those bins out and getting the information and education that people needed to use them. So it's working.
Thank
And
you.
saving the city money, I think.
Yes.
Good. Commissioner Martin?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing? And Commissioner Vogt?
Sorry, I haven't got anything either.
My gosh, everybody's pretty quiet tonight, aren't they? Well, I don't really have that much either. I just wanted to say I hope everybody got out and voted today. And, you know, it's your duty and your right, and we need to take advantage of that. And also, I just want to remind everyone, you heard the committee up here for the Pitts and Barker dedication, statue dedication on November 14th. I'm sure it'll be a wonderful program, and I'm really sorry that I'm going to miss it, but I'm going to be out of town at that time. And I know that Commissioner Vogt will fill in admirably for me. But I encourage everybody to be at Moat Park, 10 o'clock a.m., right, guys? 10 o'clock a.m. on November 14th for the dedication of the William H. Pitsenbarger statue and program for that day. So we want to make sure we have a good representation there. With that, unless somebody has anything else, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All those in favor signify aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned.